The truth is, you don't have to use all those effects if you don't want to. You can make this as simple as you want or as complex as you want. The idea is just to come up with some music you like. Some people use these loops and never go into the effects parameters. That's totally okay. Some people go crazy, cut things up and just go off the charts. That's also okay. You define what kind of output you want here. Alright, so anyway, I'll go to something a little bit more easy. Let's see what else I got over here. I think I got some orchestral stuff over here. Cinematic rock and pop. That's cool. Orchestral 2 modern. This is a little bit dark, but let me open this up. Okay, so in this folder, they're all kind of just grouped up by things that kind of sound about the same key. So just because Audition, I almost said Acid, just because Audition will automatically time stretch these loops so that they're all in tempo, doesn't mean that they'll all be in the same key. Meaning that some notes are like A's and B's, and some notes are maybe like F's and F sharps, and so those also have to be in the same spot. But luckily, these people have already recorded a bunch of parts that sound good together, i.e., they're in the same key. What do I mean by that? Let's check this out. And again, no guarantee this is going to sound great. How do we know? We're just going to find out. Okay, a bunch of little cute little instruments over here. And so let me just start off with, let me hear you, Mr. Bassoon. Let me hear you. Let me get this autoplay on. Oh, that's looping, I mean. Ignore me, like success has. Okay, so let me grab this in the background. If I gotta hear this Gloria Estefan in the background, I'm gonna throw up, so I'm gonna turn that off. Oh, it's Buster Poindexter. Alright, that's why it's the party channel. Okay, so anyway, I'll move this clip over here and I'll just grab it. And you can just see this is just gonna be repeating. And by the way, just throwing these all in and having repeat herky-jerky, kind of willy-nilly, it's probably not the right way to be doing things. And the reason I say that is that if you just have like parts going forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and they just never change, there's never any movement, well then you don't give the listener any motivation to stick around after 3 or 4 minutes, because why do they need to hear what's going on in minute 2 if it's all the same thing as in minute 1? So the thing to do is to kind of build things in, bring things in, take them out, change the song like you would change a story. Okay, so you can see if this went on for like 3 minutes, you'd want to throw up. So don't do that to you, and don't do that to your friends. What you want to do, take some things in, bring them every once in a while. Oh, where's my move copy tool? There you are. Okay, so anyway, so maybe I'll bring this in over here, and then maybe I'll bring this in over there, and maybe I kind of want this thing to kind of fade in. Like this maybe. Hey, don't forget that you get your splines too. So if you want things to fade in a little bit smoother, or a bit more smoothly, whatever word you want to use there, then you don't have to settle for these ramping up volumes over here. You could just right click, remember, like we did before, go to clip envelopes and go to volume and go to use splines. Then it's nice and smooth, or as my friends would say, smooth. Okay, so then here I am. Wow, it's windy outside. And this mic picks up everything. Okay, so anyway, there we go, fading in smoothly. And let's check it out. And then the other parts kind of fade in kind of slowly. Hey, something else you can do is this. You don't have to settle for this being the exact same pitch. What if one time I want it to sound like this, and then another time I want it to sound like something else? So what I'm trying to say is this. Paul said as he kind of messed things up. Let me just Control Z out of there, because I didn't really want to do that. I'll just point to a clip like I am right here. And now I want to change the pitch. I'm going to solo this track so you can remember what it sounds like. It sounds like this. Okay. Matter of fact, let me split these up so we can really get the difference. Let me just click on that. That's kind of happening somewhere in the middle there. Maybe I'll let that go there. Okay, how about this? I'll right click on it, and then I'll go to the loop properties. So the loop properties tells me, hey, how this loops or when it loops or how often it loops, etc., 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 etc. But if I don't want to be on that exact pitch, I can transpose it. Transposing means you change the pitch. There's actually 12 semitones or half steps in an octave. So if you go up 12, you're going to change it from one C to a higher C. But what if I just want to go from like a C to a D? That would be 2 semitones because it goes C, C sharp, D. Doesn't matter. Is there a difference? Well, let's hear it once over here. Let's see if I did this right. Okay, that's once. And then next time. Okay, so you can see there's some difference. I'll butt them right up next to each other. This is the one that's the original. I'll change the color so you know what's changed. Because yellow is the international color of change. Okay, so here's original. There's the change. And there's the change. Of course, when you start changing the keys, then they might become something that doesn't go with what's underneath there. Or sometimes they do. Maybe you are already slightly musical and you know how to change that. I'll leave that on you. And we'll find out if it sounds good. Okay, and then I can pull the other one back in here if I want to. Let me do a move copy tool. And just slide that back here. And then we'll see. Okay, you get the idea. Something else I want to say is leave plenty of space between all your loops and between all your different parts, because the spaces between the loops are just as important as the loops themselves. Or in music, where the notes are happening are just as important as the spaces in between. What I'm trying to say is this: everything in moderation. You need some space to let the music breathe. You need some notes to break up the empty space. Far out. Next lesson.